Hi, my name is Katie, and this is Knitting Downsized. This is a podcast about knitting, about family, and about living in a camper with 2 kiddos and a dog full time. Thanks for stopping by today. Definitely go over to Instagram and check out our Instagram. It is Knitting Downsized, and there you'll find pictures throughout the week. I don't post a picture every 10 minutes, but it's probably every few days, and it kind of gives you a little insight into camper life and what I'm knitting on during the week. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. I'm pretty sure if you do that, it puts it on your feed so you can see, I guess, when I post a new video. I'm not very techie at all, which is why my setup is super duper unprofessional. You are currently sitting on a Play-Doh box and a kid's toolbox. So, yeah, that's how professional we are over here. But I wanted to share my knitting with you guys. So I thought, let's start at the beginning. Let's start at the basis, and maybe I'll get a cool ring light one day. So to start off, today I'm wearing my Tegna by Caitlin Hunter. The yarn is Swamp Bunny fiber. It is one of my best friends. It is her and her mother dye this yarn. It is a DK. The pattern calls for a fingering weight, but this is a DK, so I sized down in the pattern. I'm going to stand up so you can kind of see some of the really amazing lace pattern on it. I'm more of a DK to worsted knitter. Now I do knit fingering, just not very frequently, and I really like the weight of this. But because it is a DK, it's a little bit heavier, so I tend to only be able to wear it in the fall, because here in the South it does get pretty hot in the summer. So it would probably be more useful if I made it in fingering, but I probably never will. I do have plans to make another because I love the pattern. I love how it fits. It's a really great pattern to do. So the one tip that I give my students and anybody that wants to make this pattern, I recommend that whenever you start the lace work, that you put markers between each lace repeat. So as you can see, there's a bunch of the same kind of repeats. So this is a repeat here. So if you do that, whenever you get to the end of a lace repeat, if you're not on the stitch that you're supposed to be, you can just work back that 12 or 15 stitches. I don't remember the repeat, but you can just work back those stitches instead of a whole row. It makes it a whole lot easier. I learned to do that on, I think, about the third row of lace, and it helped so much. I kept messing up and not really realizing where I was, so marking it helped tremendously. I did want to tell everybody, I have an amazing website that I get all my glasses from. I tell everybody that I know because I think glasses are so expensive, and if you have vision problems, I don't think they should be $600-700. I made that mistake one time, and then I have since purely bought from Zenni. So Zenni Optical. That's Zenni Optical. You can Google them, and they come right up. You can put your prescription in, and it will actually pull up glasses that work with your prescription. I recommend it to everybody. I am nearsighted, but not a whole lot, and I have astigmatism, so it does have that. I do have the coating. I can get sunglasses from there, especially for kiddos. If you have kiddos that do have, vision problems, definitely check them out. They have tons and tons of kiddos cute glasses, for super cheap. I think these were like $28 with like a simple prescription, and then the higher your prescription go, or the more complicated it gets, they do get more expensive. But I think the most expensive I've heard somebody say is like $125 a pair. So Highly recommend it. Check them out. I currently have 4 pairs that I'm bouncing through that you guys will probably see as the podcast goes on. I'm having weird eye issues today, so I put on my big ones. So let's get into finished objects. So last week I told you about kind of my journey through the Mountain Mist sweater and how I am making a Mountain Mist sweater for everyone in my family. So my husband's is done, my daughter's is done, and this week I finished mine. So this yarn, y'all, is amazing. It is Barrett wool, home worsted. This yarn is so flipping soft. It is amazing. It was really great to work with. It is heavy, so it's definitely a cold weather sweater. It's not something I can wear in the fall. Definitely probably during like a snowstorm. But it is amazing. I love it. And it fits me really good. I got lazy and decided to do a bracelet length sleeve. So they're a little, they come like right here, but I love it. I love kind of the peaky peach that it is. I did learn this week to do a tubular bind off. I use the Shibui Knits written instructions. A lot of times I knit when I'm watching TV or my family's watching TV or my family is going crazy and I can't watch a video tutorial. So I am so thankful for companies and for folks that do written tutorials or pictorial tutorials. It's so nice. It's so nice when I just want to follow a couple pictures and be able to do it. So Shibui Knits, they have a great bind off tutorial. It looks awesome. So I just did the sleeves in the tubular. I didn't want to do, because it is so many stitches for the waistband, that I didn't want to do that. I think it would look gorgeous. I just didn't want to take the time, to be honest. But I love the sweater. I need to block it. I think I'm going to do a blocking party on our next warm day and block all of our sweaters that I've made over the summer. That way I can get them all done. It's really hard for me to block anything in the camper because I have kiddos and there's really no place to lay anything out. So it will probably have to be something I block probably outside, lay some towels down, or we have a couple large beach blankets that I would probably do it outside and just let them dry outside for, the afternoon. Because once again, I live in the South, so usually in the afternoons it is quite warm here and things dry pretty quickly. So on to my next FO. Last week I showed a hat that I was doing for my son out of Miss Babs. I'm sorry if I'm shaking the camera. I'm trying really hard to stay still. I showed the Miss Babs coffee break that I was making a hat for my son for, and I told you guys I call it my cursed yarn because every project I've tried with it has not worked or I've just stalled out. And it did it again to me, guys. So I cast on 80 stitches. I held it double, cast on 80 stitches, used a 7 and thought, oh, this will be perfect. My son is a really big kiddo. He's really tall and has a pretty decent sized noggin. So I thought this will be perfect. It'll fit him. I switched to an 8 for like the main part of the hat, and it grew. It is perfect for my husband. So this is my husband's hat. I think it worked out really great because my husband needed a hat as well. He has a crocheted hat that I made him several years ago, and the pom-pom's all wonky, and it's just in really bad shape. So it worked out. It fits him really well, and because he works outside, all year long, it's nice to have several options for him as far as hats. So those are my FOs for the week. So not a lot. I thought I was going to have another one, and it did not work out. I started the Ranunculus. I started another one. My sweet neighbor, I'm sorry, I'm rifling through my bag. Sweet neighbor asked me for a Ranunculus, and I said, yes, I'll make you a Ranunculus. You're awesome. You love my kiddos, and we love you, and I have some perfect yarn for it. It's the Rowan Cashmere Merino. I don't remember the exact name. I'm sorry, and I don't have a label with me. So I started. I was about halfway done with the textured section, and I realized that my short rows were not where they were supposed to be. So in the pattern, you have a little bit of short rows in the front and more short rows in the back, and it makes it such a good fit. Well, somehow I ended up with a weird count, and my short rows were here and here. So they were all on one side. I don't know how I did it, if my kids distracted me and I counted too many or not enough. I don't know what happened. So this is the color. It's taupe. I pulled it out. And once again, it's the Rowan Cashmere Merino. And it is awesome. It feels so good. It was so really easy to knit with. Pulled out. It frogged very well. I really like it. I purchased it from Sundragon Art and Fiber in Brevard, North Carolina. It's my local yarn shop. I absolutely adore those ladies. They are awesome. They are so very kind to my kids when they try to destroy their shop. So they are amazing there. And I purchased a lot of my yarn from there and all my really awesome doodads. I wanted to show you guys this. This is one of my favorite things. You've probably seen it on lots of podcasters and lots of knitters. It is the wrist ruler. This one's kind of worn in pretty good. I have a turquoise one as well. Sundragon Art and Fiber. They sell all the different colors. It's one of my most used tools, especially as a sweater knitter. I use it all the time. My kids like to use them. It's a safe piece of my knitting equipment that the kids can run around with, and I'm not afraid of them hurting themselves with. They like to measure things, measure themselves, measure me. So it's a really kind of awesome tool to use, and they wear in really well. I've washed them. I've probably taken a shower in it. It's awesome. I love it. Absolutely love it. So that was that project. I am going to restart it, and hopefully it works this time. So there's that. My other work in progress, I am making another pair of mittens. I got hooked on colorwork and mittens when I did the Speedy Selbu by Skandir, Ellie, and I forgot her last name again. I'm really sorry. But I am doing the Gray-Eyed Mitts by Rebecca Tsai. And they are some owl mitts. I believe it's a free pattern. I had it in my library. I don't know where I got it. But if you Google it, it does come up on Ravelry. Just a really cool pattern. I started it, I believe yesterday, and did the corrugated part. I'm using Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in a green, and then this is kind of a gray green. I don't know if you can really tell, but I love it. Love it. Awesome. Unfortunately, my ones are in, because it calls for a size 1s to knit this up with, and my Chiagu ones are in a stalled sock that I need to finish. So I'm using, I believe these are Clover that I think I got at probably like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, And I did not realize how short their like needles are. Like, look how tiny. So they're pretty difficult to use because of how short the needle point is. So I would caution you on that. They are made well. They don't, snag my yarn or anything. They're just kind of tiny, especially compared to the chiagus that I usually use. So those are my 2 work in progresses. I do have a hat. I'm just doing a 2x2 rib hat out of Cascade for my son. I left it. It's in my purse. He told me last week that he likes green and he wants a green hat. So I am all for that. It's not black. I am very excited. We're going to make a green hat for him. I have decided, unfortunately, the area that we live is, or at least the school district that we're in is what they call Title I. So I believe most of the kiddos that go there come from homes that are probably below the poverty level. That they get probably free or reduced lunch. Our school is awesome. They are able to offer a free breakfast for everyone. So my kid eats 2 breakfasts usually a day. So I think that's amazing. I've decided to make my kiddos' classroom hats. I think as a knitter, that's like not my greatest fear, but to see kiddos without hats on when it's really cold. The school is kind of at the top of a hill, so I'm sure there's going to be lots of wind and things, and they do play outside, the majority of the year. So unless it's rainy and real bad, but I think I'm going to make a basket of hats and take them in, and then the kiddos can just leave their hat in their little cubby. That way, in case they forget it from home, they'll at least have something to cover their little ears. And hopefully, because his class is only, I think, 15 or 16 kiddos. And the whole kindergarten is only 60 kiddos. So I'm hoping my knitting group will get together with me, and then maybe we can sponsor all the kiddos and make all 60 kiddos a hat. So that way they're warm this winter. So that is my plan for the next month and a half. I'm going to work on a couple projects I'll show you here in a minute, and try to do a hat a week for his school, or 2 hats a week for his school. So on to a couple of really of new projects that I'm going to start. The first project that I want to start is the Vellichor by Andrea Mowry. My best friend with Swamp Bunny made this sweater, and she loves it. And so I have decided to also make it. I am notorious for not having enough yarn. I never purchase enough yarn, and I have to finagle my sweaters. So I will probably do this on this one. But I do have 3 different fingering, because it's a fingering weight sweater. You use 3 different yarns, or 3 different colors. I wanted to use a color changing yarn. So this is a Zauberball, and it's a super gorgeous fall Zauberball. And it's a fingering weight Zauberball. So I'm going to use this as, I think, the main color that goes up through the sweater. I want to use this color. It is by Harrisville Designs, and it's Foliage. It's a really good kind of rusty brown. And this Brooklyn Tweed in Hayloft. Shelter in Hayloft. It's like one of my favorites. I think, there we go. So I think you can kind of see. So I know that I'm short yardage in the different yarns, but I'm going to make up for it in spunk, maybe. And yeah, anyway, so hopefully that will work. I plan on casting that on as soon as I'm done with the Ranunculus. I like to have a sweater project always on the go. So as soon as I'm done with the Ranunculus, I want to start that. It's a fingering weight sweater, so it'll probably take me a little while. The last one project that I'm going to start is the Malabrigo cow. So my birthday is in October, and it's very near Halloween. So I love fall. I love anything in October, really. It's awesome. So October 3rd, Malabrigo is starting a cow, and they picked a designer by the name of, let me find her name, I wrote it down. Afifa Sayeed. She was their chosen designer. So it starts October 3rd, and it is a vest. I have been looking for a vest that I really like for a long time. I don't really want a fuzzy vest because I want to be able to wear it in the fall, and it's still kind of warm here in the fall. So I just wanted a little something, more something just to kind of wear because I knit it. So this is the pattern. So it's awesome. It's made with 2 colors of Malabrigo Rios Solitos. And it's brown and a mustard with that gorgeous lice stitch. There we go. That's a little bit better. She has styled it so awesome with her jeans and her big oversized shirt. She is awesome. This pattern looks so much fun. So they asked if you do the cow, to use at least 1 skein of Malabrigo Solitos. Hopefully I'm not butchering that. Malabrigo Solitos. There's the back. So I love Malabrigo. It was kind of my first hand-dyed yarn that I ever purchased, and I love it. I love the texture of it and the different colors that they come in. And my favorite color of all time is Frank Ochre. This is the yarn. Frank Ochre. It's a really gorgeous, let's see if I can put it with my brow. This is Cocoa. Yeah, this is Cocoa by Malabrigo as well. So I kind of hoard Malabrigo. I love it. Whenever I see a color that I like, I'll purchase it and just kind of hoard it until I can find a project that I really want it to go with. So I have a couple skeins of the Frank Ochre and one of the Cocoa, and then I have one of this like peachy. Once again, I don't have enough of one color, so I'm going to finagle it with a 3rd color. So I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I might use like the Frank Ochre as the body, this as the ribbing, and then maybe these as the little lice stitches. I wish you could see, it's really peachy. So that's my plan. I might buy another skein of Frank Ochre and do it that way. I don't know. We'll see. But that is I'm gonna start that at October 3rd. I posted about it on Instagram, on my Instagram. Once again, it's Knitting Downsized. Check us out there. And I hope you guys join. You just go to the Malabrigo website. You can sign up for their cow, and it's not a ton of information that they need, so they're not hoarding your information. But I think it's just your email, your name, and I think your Instagram or Facebook, your social media information. So really cool. I'm so excited to start this cow and work with everybody. I hope to see everybody do it. It looks like a pretty easy, fun knit along. So I wanted to talk to you about some of my favorite things, some of my favorite knitty things. And I just so happened to purchase all of them from Sundragon, because they are my local yarn store and they carry some awesome products. Once again, this is my my ruler bracelet. I bought it comes in different sizes. So I bought the 16-inch one. I think it comes in 14, 15, and 16. I'm a big gal, so I wanted the 16 because I kind of like it floppy as well. So another one of my favorite things is the Cocoa Knits Maker's Board. Sundragon sells this in the brown, and then there's a gray. It is so awesome. If you do color work, I highly recommend it. You can use the magnets. These two large rectangle magnets come separately. You have to purchase it separately, but all the little round ones and the rectangle ones come with it, and you can just magnetize your pattern and it stands up for you, and it makes it so easy to read your pattern and work on color work, or in my case, the Ranunculus, because I have a problem following directions, apparently. So, so those are a couple of my favorite things. Because I do teach a knitting class in our community, we live in a tiny home community and everything is very close. So we either walk or bike to our clubhouse or the pool. So I didn't want to carry a ton of project bags everywhere I go. I also have a bag that I keep my like knitting tools so I can help folks fix their knitting. And I have extra stashes of yarn in case I have new students. So I purchased one of the baskets from the women in Uganda that make the awesome African baskets. My favorite color is green, so I purchased this one. And it is huge. I'll show you all my knitting stuff. I'm a mom, so I keep wipes everywhere I go. So I have, I think, 4 or 5 projects in here. And like I said, I keep a supply of tools in case I need them. I highly recommend these bags. I think they come like smushed, and then the folks at Sundragon, they wet them and make and shape them and everything. I've had this one for like a year and a half, and I've used it every single day. And like I said, I take it everywhere I go. I knit at night in the bedroom, so I move it from the bedroom into the living room and back and forth. I take it outside, and my kids have spilled juices in it, and you know, it's not sticky or anything like that. So I highly recommend the baskets. And they won't set you back a whole lot. I don't think they're too expensive, but they support, you know, the women in Uganda. So highly recommend. They come in really awesome colors too. So check out Sundragon Arts and Fiber. They have a great website that you can go to. They also do some awesome YouTube tutorials, which you probably will never see here. I'll just talk to you about my life and my knitting. The folks at Sundragon, they do tutorials and things like that to teach you knitting over YouTube. So check out their YouTube, check out their Instagram, and there's, you know, website storefront. If you're in Western North Carolina, they're in Brevard, you know, the land of waterfalls and white squirrels. So it's downtown, really great little stop. So there's some really good eateries in downtown that you can go to as well. So I think that's about all for today. I did want to introduce Maggie. You've probably heard her walking around, you know, in case you guys ever hear her bark, you guys can know what she looks like. I always wonder what dogs look like on podcasts whenever you hear them kind of click around and bark in the background. So this is Maggie Mae. She is a Jack Russell Chihuahua, and she is the best dog we've ever had. My son, who, like I've told you before, is on the spectrum, and she kind of gives him, I guess, comfort. She's such a sweet dog. She's the best dog I think we've ever had. But Maggie Mae, whenever I found out my coworker was having a litter of the puppies, I picked her out and showed my son, and my son at the time wasn't speaking very much. He had a little bit of delay. Not that he couldn't, he just didn't want to. And he immediately named her Maggie. I don't think he had ever heard the name Maggie, but he said Maggie. And so her name became Maggie Mae, because we're in the South and everybody has two names. So she is the best dog that we've ever had. And so you'll probably hear from her and see her a lot throughout the podcast. I wanted to let you guys know that last podcast, I didn't realize that if you put say that the podcast is okay for children, it takes away the ability to comment. I apologize for that. I welcome your comments. I want to see your comments and know about what you're knitting on, whether it's here through your YouTube or Instagram. I guess I'm going to have to indicate that this isn't appropriate for children so that we can comment. That's so bizarre to me, but I guess that's just how YouTube does all of their weird stuff. So once again, I'm not a technology expert, so I will never ever pretend to be that. But yeah, if you have any questions, definitely leave a comment. I'll be happy to answer you, or head on over to Instagram and you can PM me there, private message me there, or post a comment on any of my pictures. I'd love to hear from you. I love to hear what you're working on. I can't wait for us to start the knit along in October, the Malabrigo knit along. Yeah, I'm super excited. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you enjoy your knitting this week. Thanks so much.